I ain't hungry. First, I always say hungry dogs run fast. I ain't hungry. I'm starving.
Hurts takes the snap. He's back. He's going to run. He's in. Touchdown. Jalen Hurts.
When that cage opens up again, our teeth are snarling. We're drooling. We're ready. We're hungry, ready to hunt again.
Dallas. We hate you. Race is snow. The Eagles train to go. The Eagles win.
And again, and again, and again.
It ain't about them. It's about us. We play up to our potential. Each and every one of us together. Nobody can beat us. I promise you.
What is up, my brews, my bird brews? We are back. It's another Speaking Birds. It's your boy Speaks. We got John. We got Clayton. What's going on?
How we doing? Thanks for having me.
What's up, guys? Great to be here.
Absolutely, boys. As I just said this, off mic, and I'm going to say it again. Saying your guys' names together is John Clayton, famous sports dude. How's your guys' week been?
Good.
Good. Loving the feeling that Bengals game gave me.
Right, man. I rewatched it. I rewatched it a few times, and my God, I mean, we shouted out the defense, but like, I just, dude, another shout out. I mean, they like now the turnovers are starting to come in, and it's like, I don't know, man. I really think here was an analogy that me and John were kind of talking a little bit off mic, just in terms of, you know, this Eagles team feeling like the real deal. And I had this sort of analogy that popped in my head. I want to share it with you guys. You know, like sometimes guys, you know, they take steroids and they got like the big like muscles, but they kind of look fake, right? They're like, you're like, yeah, you got huge muscles, but they don't look real. That's what I likened last year too. Sure, we were this 10-1 team. You know, we're really going, but we had those fake steroid muscles. We weren't really those guys. And this team, we're the team. We're the dude he's got the strength. Like he's in the gym every day. He's the real deal. That's what I think this season's team is compared to last season. I think we're the real deal, and I don't know. I think we're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Generally starting to agree. But, you know, I'm always on the reserve side. I don't want to be that steroid popping man, you know, but I think we're getting there. I think that we're the guy that's lifting more than anybody, you know, maybe not showing it as much, you know, just a guy like Jalen, just, you know, squatting 600 or whatever. But, yeah, I mean, I don't want to be the guy like the old wrestlers, you know what I mean? Just out of control, but I just want to be the guy that's getting 10% better.
Yeah,
man. I'll tell you what really sets this team apart from last year, at least in my opinion, is their mindset. They seem to be mentally tougher, more resilient than what they were last year, and I think that was a point of emphasis. I mean, when your owner calls your team out for not being resilient, when he was asked what he thought were some of the deficiencies with last year's team, he said they weren't resilient. I'm seeing resiliency from this team. I'm seeing a mental toughness, and not only that, I'm seeing a team that's like looking to rough people up. You know,
right.
Looking to come in and impose their will and be physical, man. It's like they get off on it. The more physical they are, man, they're like piranha in a feeding frenzy.
Man, Dean's hit in on that first series on defense, like he just comes up and lays the stick on Chase, dude. Like, I mean, going back, I mean, in the moment you register it, but like going back and seeing it, it's like, my God, like you said, they're out there. They get off on laying the pain. And
it was 2 weeks, or was it the Browns? Yeah, I think it was the Browns game when Keely Ringo comes in off the bench and just lambastes that dude.
Yes,
dude, the entire defense was hyped. The sideline was hyped, man. They're feeding off of it. They love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Dean and Bond, highest two graded linebackers of the week, 91.3, 90 point for Bond, 91.3 for Bond, 90.7 for Dean. Are the boys coming on or what?
I think so.
It's such a weird feeling having linebackers, right?
Yeah.
The Eagles, we don't know anything about linebackers.
Well, here's another thing.
Go ahead.
No. I mean, obviously, we're showing that Vic made the right decision there, as opposed to Devin White. You know what I mean? Like, It's a no-brainer, right?
And just a shout out to him to have the wherewithal and the chops to take a risk on a guy like Zach Bond, who has never done this before.
Oh.
What you're seeing is he's never done before. He did it rotationally here and there, but he never was a full-time off-ball linebacker. He was an edge rusher and a special teamer. And he's like a duck in water. And you got to throw it up to Vic for being able to identify that.
Yeah, this week I think somebody referred to Bond as a Howie acquisition, and one of you guys, it's like, man, you got to give that to Fangio. I mean,
I agree.
100%.
That's on him and having that eye. So another thing we got to talk about. So this team is evolving, and they look different coming out of the bye. It's been reported that some veteran leaders, and I guess it was Lane. You got Mailata going to Sirianni and asking him to change the offense. Yeah,
Dickerson too.
All right, yeah, Dickerson. What do you guys make of that?
I love it, man. Like, it's time to get involved. You know what I mean? When the offense is not playing well. I mean, we're talking a couple weeks back, when the offense is not playing well, you know what I mean? So the leaders got to get involved and change the situation. So I think that's what we're seeing. I love every bit of it, and it's a no-brainer to me. So,
yeah. I mean, shout out to the players for, having the courage to stand up and voice their opinion. But I want to throw it over to the coaches for listening. Because not many coaches, there's a lot of ego there. And, even in OCs, there's a lot of ego there. And it's like, for them to really take that, invite or take that, request and run with it. And actually, because it does look different. Out of the bye, this offense looks different.
Yeah.
So they definitely made some kind of changes, or they're doing stuff differently. And it's a shout out to the players for, stepping up and saying, hey, look, man, we need to change it. And shout out to the coaches for listening and being receptive to that and actually taking action, because that doesn't happen very often. Sometimes it'll just be lip service. Like, yeah. We'll take care of that for you. And then it never changes.
Right.
It looks like they have changed. It looks like everybody's happy on that offense, which it hasn't looked like that for a while. It hasn't looked, where Jalen's down there celebrating with AJ and, Smitty's going crazy in the end zone and everybody's coming down mobbing him. That shit wasn't happening last year. They were just like businessmen. They score a touchdown and just fucking walk off the field shrugging like, yeah, whatever.
Right. Yeah. You bring up last year, and this was a thought I had. I mean, it almost, and I don't know where you guys stand on Jason Kelsey, but it almost makes you wonder, okay, man, you're the most veteran guy. You're obviously the leader of the team. Where was your intervention last year? I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
that is curious.
Why didn't you step up? I mean, it almost is like, were you just happy to get off the field and get to your podcast studio? I don't know. I don't know.
That's one of those great mysteries where I would love to have been embedded inside that locker just to see what the hell happened. Because from what the reports are saying is the locker room was fractured. They had cliques everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you're not a unit, then you're not going anywhere. I don't care how much talent you have. If you're not a unit and you're not a team, it doesn't matter. You're going to die as individuals out there. You play as a team or you die as individuals.
I think that's just it. Like, they weren't a unit. It was said, I heard it somewhere. It might've been on Rube and Dave's podcast where they're like, Byard's having a pretty decent year. And I guess when he got here at the trade deadline, he kind of looked around and was like, what is going on? For a guy to come in and like not know what's happening, like, that's a terrible look. So
I appreciated Byard being honest with the media, because he was like, I have no idea what's going on here. This is a mess. Like, we had just fired Desai and Matt Patricia. God, you didn't think you could get worse than Desai.
Okay,
Matt Patricia was worse.
Yeah. On the positive side, can you believe that less than like a season later, like we're kind of like, we're optimistic, man. Like, we have coordinators that are getting it done, and like it seems like a complete 180. Speaking of trade deadlines, what do you guys think? What, are we moving in? Are we moving all in?
I don't see it unless we go for a big time edge rusher, which I do feel like, and maybe we can talk about this. There's a little bit that we can maybe make up, But I think big edge rusher would be pretty much the only thing we should do. But
Yeah.
up to you guys.
Yeah, I'm with you there. And it's not only like edge rusher is the only place I would honestly even seek a trade here at the deadline. But even then, if it's just for some old head like Quinn, we did with Quinn there, like I'm good with that. Like I don't want to give up a 6th, 7th, or 5th round pick for an old head rental that's going to be gone at the end of the season that you're not even guaranteed going to get anything out of. Like if we're going to do this, go all in and try to get Myles Garrett or try to get Max Crosby. And if you can't get those two, the team's okay moving forward. I mean, pass rush is still kind of weak in my opinion. It's coming on. They're working better together, which is encouraging. But I mean, if you put an elite guy on that line right now, it puts him over the top. Like that's the missing piece on defense, in my opinion.
I agree. There was talks, we talked about it with Crosby and Garrett. Like I was thinking, I mean, with Jalen Hurts, like you can't really give away draft picks. Like you really we're kind of handcuffed in the sense that like we can't go after that guy because I still think that Jalen Hurts might be a little bit of a question mark. Like you have to have ammo. You have to have ammo to be able to draft at that position and draft someone good. Is that an off base take?
I think so because I got a lot of Jalen Hurts stats that possibly say otherwise.
Well, I mean, let's get into it.
Well, hold on before. Even if he wasn't like his stats weren't great, they're kind of almost in a situation like they find them or like Cleveland finds itself in with its quarterback. There's a huge contract right there. So if you move off of Hurts, you're eating a ton of money. Even if it's a rookie quarterback that you're getting up, you're eating a ton of money and you're hurting yourself. This is one of those things where when they signed him to this contract, we're almost going to have to ride this contract out.
So we're riding it. He's
not only that is, let's just say this year, I don't think there's really any great college quarterback coming out.
Yeah. And look, I was playing devil's advocate. I like Hurts. And you look around the league, like how many of these quarterbacks that are getting drafted are getting benched, getting moved around? Like,
tons.
I mean, say what you want about Hurts. I mean, he's come in here and he's earned the job and gone above and beyond for this team. So look, I was just playing a little devil's advocate. I'm not a Hurts hater by any means.
Yeah.
Not a Hurts hater. I was just,
They are saying Bryce Young's going to be on the move. I know we talked about it.
Oh my God, that's a move Howie would make, and I'll kill him.
QBU.
Really? We've talked about it, but oh my God.
I'm almost glad we have Kenny Pickett as our backup because he has, I think, another year on his rookie deal, so that's like a deterrent. Unless they want to swap Kenny Pickett for it. Like, no.
Dude, I love Hurts not throwing Kenny Pickett a bone there with the shoe thing. Kenny Pickett looked great. He looked so ready to go, man. Like I've been waiting all season for this, and then it's like, nah, let me get this shoe on real quick. Not even letting you run a run play here.
Well, we called a timeout for it, so
yeah, man.
Like, nah, you're not going on.
Jalen two shoes.
We're wasting a timeout here in the second quarter or second half.
I need to find out what shoes they were and like get them like non-cleated and just start wearing them on game day.
Those were Jordan 4s.
What was the other one? Yeah, what was the other one though?
The other one was a Jordan 11.
All right, you know your Jordans.
Jesus,
I do.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. That'll only set me back about $600. But
yeah, about 600 for sure.
For sure.
We'll put it in the fit. Here's a hot take. Here's a hot take I have regarding the trade deadline. I mean, this might. Hey, I'm firing all cylinders here.
Hey.
What do you guys think about some running back depth?
What are you thinking?
Just silence. I don't know. I just just like here's what I'm thinking though. Like, God forbid something would happen to Saquon. I mean, are we comfortable with Gainwell? Not saying we're getting like a guy.
Yeah, that's the silence there.
Yeah, that's the silence.
Not saying we're getting a guy that can be a Barkley's caliber, but I don't know if All right, guys, that was a hot take. That's why hot takes are hot,
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you there. I like your intuition there.
All right, guys, you don't gotta be nice here.
I understand the train of thought on that for real because you're right. God forbid, and I don't even want to say it, and I'm gonna knock on wood. should anything happen to Saquon, that's a fucking huge hit to our offense.
Yeah.
One that's not, it's not like, losing Goddard for a little bit. We could lose Goddard for the rest of the season and it wouldn't hurt like losing Saquon would hurt. Like,
yeah.
that's a big deal. So you're right. I mean, if that's the case, then we got Kenny Gainwell as your RB1 and you got Shipley spelling him, and then you got a practice squad guy they'll bring up.
I think it's time to call Boston Scott.
At that point,
Yeah.
you might.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. It was just a thought.
I like it.
It was a thought. I mean, like, but I was thinking about that, like the Super Bowl team. They had the, Ajayi and Blunt.
Clement.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and, it just seemed like, but I don't want Saquon to be burned out either.
I don't think he's going to
be.
be burned out. Saquon's absolute elite athlete.
He's
You
a
know what I mean?
specimen, unlike
Yeah,
He
yeah,
is a
yeah.
specimen.
even wrap our heads around. So yeah, I don't even know. He's not even. He's
No,
not even
I like
running
where you're
that
at there.
Yeah. No, that's not even a hot take. That's actually something I didn't think of. Good thinking. Because that's a dangerous situation if that happens.
Yeah, I think we're
This
solid, though.
offense won't look the same. I tell you that.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about you. You had something that you had said earlier in the week about maybe some Hurts action, Clayton.
Yeah. Go ahead, John. Go ahead and throw some of these hurt stats out because I want to get people on his side before I throw this out there.
All right. Okay.
Let's see it. Let's hear it.
With the last 45-yard pass to Smitty, Hurts became the first Eagles quarterback to throw a touchdown of 40 yards or more in 3 straight games since McNabb in 4 straight games in 2006. Now, I got a bunch here. Hurts is also the third quarterback in Eagles history to complete 71% of his passes with no picks over a 3-game span. Shares that with Cunningham and Wentz. And then Hurts joins Wentz with the second Eagles QB with a rating of 119 passer percent or higher in 3 straight games. Hurts has completed 71.3% of his passes since week 2, the second highest completion percentage in Eagles history over a 6-game span behind Wentz. Hurts has 7 40-yard completions, second most in league behind Purdy, who has 8 and 1 extra game played, and is 4 for 40. He has 4 40-yard plus TD passes, tied for most in the league with Burrow and Derek Carr. And then Hurts increased his career rushing total rushing TDs 48, which is second most in Eagles history behind Steve Byrne, third most among QBs behind Cam Newton and Josh Allen. Hurts joins Wilbert Montgomery and Steve Van Buren as a second Eagle in history with 3 career TD games. Second Eagle ever with 5 rushing TDs in 2-game span. Shares that with LaShawn McCoy. Hurts is the first QB in history with 5 TDs in a 2-game span. And he's also, his 48 TD runs are 18 more than any other QB has in 58 starts. So that's pretty big numbers, dude.
I agree.
I don't know if that's too much, but it is what it is.
I
I
like
think
it all.
that's,
No, I
I think
mean,
that's good
impressive.
stats.
I mean, it's a shame that there's so much doubt around Hurts because, like I said, like you look around the league and like, man, this quarterback's falling off. You know what I mean? I don't have the list in front of me, but like, I mean, this guy has put on for the city. It's just it's a shame there's so much. And I'm talking to myself here because I'm the same way, man. It's like the minute he goes bad, I'm like, we're done. I mean, I think I said it early on in podcasts when we were, on that 2-game losing streak or what have you. I was like, we got to get rid of him. So, I mean.
Well, here's the biggest stat of them all. The Eagles are 16-1 when Jalen doesn't turn the ball over.
That's the key.
He's a winner, man. And this is, I mean, something I've been thinking about over, since last week, since the Burrow game. Because I feel like, watching some of these talking heads and whatnot, they're still not given, like, he goes in there and outduels one of these quote-unquote elite quarterbacks in Joe Burrow. Bumps him in his own house. And it's still not a good win for the Eagles. Like, people are still kind of nitpicking. Like, Greg Cosell still nitpicking. And it's just, I've been thinking about it all week, and it's like Hurts gets crushed by outsiders and by the fan base constantly. And I think it's kind of, like you said, I put my hand up. I'm guilty of this too.
Right.
But I think that it's unfair, and I'm coming to this realization that yes, he has deficiencies, but what I'm thinking is maybe he's a baller, like maybe he's a type of quarterback that we've never seen before, and we're trying to compare him to what's traditional, but he may be like a new breed. So
Breed
what
of
he's
what?
doing doesn't look like what a traditional quarterback should look like. Like he's not Peyton Manning, he's not Tom Brady back there. He's different. And this is the one thing that I go through with every time I critique him. There's the thing that I come back to all the time, and I say it as a caveat. The guy is clutch. Like he has that clutch factor. And not many quarterbacks out there. And if you look at the quarterbacks that he's went against and beat, he's beat everybody. He's beat Joe Allen or Josh Allen. Go ahead.
I feel like he is the. I hate to compare him to Donovan McNabb, but I feel like he's the Donovan McNabb pocket passer.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean?
All right, I'll see you guys later.
That he should have been. You know what I mean?
He's really good.
Does that make sense?
In the pocket, yeah. Well, I think he's even different than McNabb. Like I think McNabb fell into the traditional role of a quarterback more than Hurts. Like I look at Hurts and it's like,
okay.
Go ahead.
I think my point is that I think that's what they wanted McNabb to be. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
That's what they wanted him to be, and he wasn't that. You know what I mean? That's what I think Hurts is.
Yeah, and for everybody killing him, and he's getting killed again this year. I mean, even after these last 3 games, he's not much praise going around for him. Not like it should be. Not like the flowers he should be getting. I mean, you look at it. Every time this guy goes out, I swear there's like some stat that he's either like the second or the first person in NFL history to do something. So like this last week, and it goes completely under the radar and unreported. He's the first player in NFL history with multiple rushing touchdowns and a passer rating over 100 in consecutive games. He is the first in NFL history to ever do that, and nobody talks about it. And then he's the second guy in NFL history to rush for 3 touchdowns and have a passer rating over 130 or have a passer rating of 130 or over, and throw for a touchdown. The last time that ever happened was in 1972, and I'm going to shout out John McMullen for that little stat there. But nobody's talking about shit like that. Like, they just look for what they can to nitpick, and then they just, like, ultra focus on it and blow it up. This guy wins. Look at his record. Look at his stats. Like, I don't know how else to say it. He's a winner. He's clutch. Like, I don't really want another quarterback. And that's another thing. Like, it's funny how, for instance, Thursday Night Football, I don't know if anybody watched that last night. What's that boy down in Houston there?
Stroud.
Yeah, Stroud. So
yeah.
They're making excuses for him losing that game because he didn't have his top 2 targets. What the fuck? How is that fucking okay? When Jalen Hurts didn't have his top 2 targets, it was an embarrassment. He shouldn't even be an NFL quarterback. Like, I'm sick of the goalposts being moved when it's Jalen Hurts and it being fine when it's everybody else. Like, that's my biggest problem with it. Like, the man takes undue criticism. He just doesn't play the position like a traditional quarterback, but doesn't mean he plays it bad. He's a winner. Just go look at his winning record, man. Yeah, he's one of the biggest winners in the league.
And I'm going to be devil's advocate here. I think he's one of the biggest winners in the league, but he hasn't won the big game. That's the devil's advocate, right?
I agree. And he had a costly turnover in that game that might have been the difference. But to be fair, he also outplayed the MVP of that game, who did win, in Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Like, even Patrick Mahomes admitted that should have went. That MVP should have went to the losing team. His quarterback, Jalen Hurts. And that's it. Let's speak on Mahomes right now. That's another thing. When Jalen Hurts was turning the ball over, that is all you heard. Mahomes is out here. He has more interceptions than touchdowns, and you don't hear a peep about it. Now, I know the Kansas City Chiefs are undefeated, But I mean, come on, man. If he's doing stuff bad, maybe he should get the same level of criticism that Jalen Hurts gets. Like, I'm sorry,
Oh.
and I know, I speak critical on Hurts because I am guilty of judging him as a traditional quarterback. But watching him and now watching like the all 22s and everything, getting more in depth into it, he's just a different breed of quarterback.
He's an athlete. He's an athlete.
He doesn't make him wrong. It doesn't make it, like there's more than one way to skin a cat. And
Right.
the end result is a win. That's the only thing that matters. It doesn't matter how you get there. The only thing that matters is you win. And the guy wins.
Yeah. Well, speaking of winning, here's Jalen Hurts' career, college and NFL. We got 2016 Alabama. He went 13-1. 2017 Alabama, 13-1. 2018 he didn't start. 2019 at Oklahoma University, 12-2. He's in the NFL now with the Eagles. 2020 went 1-3. Obviously, rookie season was a weird situation. 2021 8-7. 2022 14-1. 2023 11-6. This season he's 4-2. This was during last game, so he's 5-2. So overall, with that win that's not on this from last week, he's 77-23 since starting his first game in college.
The knock is that he doesn't win the big game.
I mean, no, he won big games in college. No, I mean he won SEC championships like he did.
He won a national championship off the bench.
Yeah,
Off the bench.
well, all
That's
right. I
the
see
knock.
what you're doing. I get it. It's
I'm
about
just
the
being
big games.
devil's advocate, dude.
I
You know
don't-
what I mean? And
it's
I love
valid.
Jalen Hurts.
It's
Don't
valid,
don't
dude. It's
hate me
valid.
for that. Don't hate
No,
me for
dude,
that.
Hey, we need a devil's advocate, man. I was devil's advocate earlier. I love
Don't
Hurts.
hate for me for that.
No, dude, it's true. I mean, yeah, I mean,
That's where the knock is, dude. That's why people don't fucking respect him.
I wonder though, man. God, this
And I
is such
think, and I'm with everybody here. Like, he gets disrespected for no reason, in my opinion.
this is such a sick hypothetical, and it turns my stomach to even think about. Say we win that Super Bowl. I think everyone's still as negative on Jalen Hurts. I do.
No.
I think they're making excuses for why they won. He's not the quarterback. I do.
If they
I don't
win,
think-
Phillies fans are crazy.
If they
Yeah.
win that Super Bowl, I think people are still having the same conversations of, well, we won a Super Bowl, but I don't think that Super Bowl win jolts him into like uncriticism, like
No,
uncriticized
I'll
territory.
agree with that. And I don't think that's even realistic for me. Like, if he does win the Super Bowl there, I don't think it's into that. Again,
Like godly
said,
level of Mahomes.
yeah, no, it's not like that for me. But at the same time, like, I don't think he gets as much criticism.
Right. I
well,
agree.
if he wins that Super Bowl and the collapse happens, he's still getting killed. Like,
Right.
I don't think that would change it. Even after that collapse, even if they had won the Super Bowl the year prior, I don't think anybody's letting them skate.
Actually, you're right. Yeah, I agree.
I agree, guys.
And,
anything else? Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Clayton.
there's one more thing on Hurts here because
Yeah.
I listen to stuff and there was this guy that I actually respect. I'm not going to call him out. I actually respect him, and he was on a radio station I was listening to, and he was killing Hurts for not throwing over the middle last week. And it's like, dude, if you're going to kill him for not throwing over the middle, like, did you even watch the game? So Jalen Hurts dropped back 20 times last week. He threw 6 times over the middle. He was 6 for 6 with a Tedski. That's a perfect passer rating, 100%, and a touchdown. Like, and not only that, 6 out of his 20, that's 30% of the time he was throwing over the middle. So that's 1 in 3 passes went over the middle of the field. What the fuck more do you want? Do you want 80% over the middle? Like, I don't understand and that's just it. And that's where it all goes back to them moving the goalpost on any type of Hurts conversation. And I just get sick of that shit. And I'm done. Like, it's one of those things where now I'm rabid. So anytime I see it, I'm coming after you. Like, I'll be in your comments. I'll be direct messaging you if you have X. I'm coming for
I
you.
love it, dude.
I don't have X.
I'm coming for you.
I'm not
Dude,
out there.
This is an announcement to the listeners and you guys. There is a Speaking Birds Twitter, guys. If you want to get the logins, I don't use it. It's just there. But if you want the logins to go after some people, man, on behalf of the show,
Oh,
I don't have
yes.
X. I don't have X to begin with.
I'll give you. I'll shoot the. I'll shoot the login so we can start driving up some fan engagement. If you see
Yes.
speaking birds on the X land, you'll know. You'll know you made it.
Let me go here. Chris Long on his podcast. He went and did some numbers or whatever, and
Oh yeah, I seen this. This was great.
yeah. I sent this.
Oh,
to
that's
you
right.
guys,
Yeah, that's
so,
right. That's right.
Yeah. The Eagles are dead last in efficiency. First drive. We all know that. 33 to 67 split run. Decides Chris Long decides he's going to go back and look at when Sirianni was calling plays in 2021, and the first drives in 2021, Sirianni was week 1 to 8, exactly 33 to 67 run pass split, and then Steichen took over. They ran ranked fifth in efficiency. Subsequent drives, and the split was 48-52. After Steichen took over, it was exactly 48-52 run pass.
That's
Is that a coincidence? Is that a coincidence or what?
I think not.
That's a hell of a coincidence if that's a coincidence.
And
I mean,
Chris,
you have to admit that. That's a fucking huge.
Chris
coincidence.
also said, like, am I messing it up? And then they went back and
Right.
triple checked and double checked the math, and it wasn't.
insane.
So
That's wild. And that's something that I've been thinking about. I even mentioned it, in the earlier pods before the winning streak really took hold here. That what if Nick has his fingers, in the pot here on these early drives? It's kind of what it feels like and looks like. And then you come out with a stat like that. Chris comes out with a stat like that. It's like, shit, man. I don't know. That's pretty damning.
I hate that.
With Sirianni, I feel like I gotta. It's like the AD BC. I gotta go PBD and ABD, pre-breakdown and after breakdown. That there's two Sirianni's careers, two Sirianni careers, before the breakdown and after the breakdown. Guys,
Yeah.
let's take a quick break. Anything else, John? Did I cut you off?
No.
Let's take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to look ahead to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cheers. We are back. Guys, we're looking ahead at the Jacksonville Jaguars, the 5-2 Birds against the 2-6 Cats. What do we think, guys?
Quality
I'm feeling
team.
good. I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling
look,
good too. I'm feeling good too. Quality team, but feeling good, but never disgrace the opponent, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is one of those games that has a trap feel to it, especially
does.
with the Cowboys coming up next week.
And that's
which
it.
I know they're trash right now, but like it doesn't matter because we play like trash when we go down to Jerry World. So that's a tough game. It doesn't matter if the Cowboys are winless. That's a tough game for us. They're going to play us tough. They're going to be up for it. So it's just an easy game, to overlook. The Jaguars are banged up coming in. At first, at the beginning of the week, it looked like they were going to be down their top 3 wide receivers, which that's Carson Wentz level stuff. Like you're throwing up backup or practice squad guys at that point. But it does look like it's just Kirk that's going to be out. The rookie and Gabe, what's his face, is going to be a go. Is what I'm hearing out of Jacksonville. So they'll have at least their 2 and 3, their number 1's done. And they're going to be banged up anyway. So if Slay happens to miss, which is looking like Slay's going to miss the game this week, this is a good week to break in a cornerback because you're not going to have top tier talent on the other side of the line against them.
Yeah. A couple notes on this game, guys. It's going to be a fun one. We got McCoy getting inducted into the Eagles Hall of Fame. We got Dougie P returning and we are rocking the Kelly greens.
I love
and
it.
I don't know, it seems too exciting, and it does feel like a trap game because we honored Nick Foles earlier in the year. We lost. I feel like every time we honor someone, we end up losing that game, and I hope it's not true. Knock on wood.
No. Listen,
What?
McCoy is putting on for the city.
Yeah.
All
he is.
right.
And that's Harrisburg.
Harrisburg.
For those who don't know.
Harrisburg known. McCoy is the legend, dude. They're not losing this game.
Ooh, we have our.
No.
Say that again. Say that again. Say that
Dude.
again, John. Let's get you here on
Listen,
the mic.
I seen him a couple
you calling
weeks
a win?
ago. Listen, I seen him a couple weeks ago. I drove downtown with my dad. He likes to eat at Jackson House, which is the finest eatery
It truly is. It's good.
east of Philadelphia or west of Philadelphia, we'll say. McCoy was down there. He's doing a bunch of work in the city in Harrisburg. There's no doubt in my mind.
You're guaranteeing a win.
McCoy puts on for the city.
You won't say.
That's where I'm at. I won't say it. No. We should win. I'll say that.
Yeah. I wanted to get you guaranteeing it.
I'm
I want
guaranteeing it.
Ooh, I love it.
I'll co-sign that.
I'll 3-sign that. Let's do it. We're all guaranteeing a win.
Yes. I honestly, these boys are locked in. I've like I said earlier in the pod, this is a resilient, mentally tough team, man. I don't think they're going to be overlooking anybody. I think they're actually going to be licking their chops, wanting to go out there and just fucking beat down an inferior opponent.
Yeah.
Make a
Oh,
statement,
yeah.
another statement. This defense is like a snarling pack of wolves, man.
Ooh, yes.
They want it. And Jacksonville, whew. Good luck. You better hope those boys up front can block because this line is coming for you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I hope it's a beatdown. I think this is it's a lowly team, but I think it will say a lot if we come out and just stomp them. I think it'll strike fear in the Cowboys' eyes that we're going to go down there. That's what we want, right?
Absolutely.
100%.
Just stay hot. Just stay hot. Like coming off of, it feels like we've just been gaining momentum here from the Browns to the Giants to the Bengals, now to the Jags. Keep it rolling, Go get out there and impose your will and show, not just Dallas, show the entire league, man. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We're not playing. And this isn't, I know their record's 2-5 or 2-6. I'm sorry. But this isn't a bad football team by any means. They're a little banged up, but they played people close. They didn't really get blown out that bad. They just had a squeaker against Green Bay. They almost beat Green Bay, which everybody is all of a sudden in love with and ranking them way above the Eagles, even though the Eagles beat them down week 1 on a neutral ground at that.
Yep.
Which we won't get into that, but I mean, this isn't a super weak team, even though their record would make you think that way. So it's not, if we go out there and stomp a mud hole in them, I don't want to hear the goalpost move again like the Browns. Like the Browns went out there and beat the Ravens last week. So don't tell me that Browns win is irrelevant. That was a good win. Now it's starting to look like a better win. Like that defense was legit and our offense beat it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I can't wait to stomp these guys. Can't wait to.
I will say you called that on the Browns though. Like Deshaun Watson was holding them back.
Yeah, for sure.
Awful.
Yeah, him going to, and like I said, I don't like wishing injury on anybody, but that if I was a Browns fan, I would be like, yes, thank you. That's the best thing that could have happened to this team this year. Because he may not be back, to start the season next year. So this is going to go into next season.
And he'll be back for 100 years because they just guaranteed all of his money.
All money. Dumbest
Browns-
contract in NFL history.
The Browns got to cook up more accusations, get out of that contract.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Skyline Chili.
They need to take a page out of Houston's book.
I know, yeah. Yeah.
What's the opposite of Skyline Chili for the Browns? It's got to be like fucking dumpster chili. Yeah.
Dumpster soup, man. Just go around dumpster diving for ingredients. Just put it in a pot.
Just lick what's at the bottom up.
Yeah.
I will say this. Now that touching on the Browns, I don't think I sent this to you guys, but did you guys see that aerial shot of their stadium? Their parking lot is right on the lake. Like, I mean, they got a sick setup. Sure, you can only use it for the first 9 weeks or so, but tailgating along the lake in that parking lot. Oh,
I haven't seen it.
Might be something to it. Might be something to it.
If only they had a team.
I know. It's disgraceful. Truly
They
is.
do though. That's the
That's the
scary
sad part. Yeah. They
do have a fucking team.
They have every piece except for the quarterback. They just will never have a quarterback. If you go back and look at the starting quarterbacks in Browns history over the last
they've had
20
like
years,
40. They've had like 40.
Insane, dude. It's something insane. It's like I couldn't even imagine living as a fan in that franchise. Like, how do you stick around?
I wouldn't be living anymore. I'll tell you that.
I would have jerked the wheel, man, on the way home.
But I liked Mayfield, and what was the problem? He was starting to look too good, and you got rid of him. I mean,
that's yeah. And man, you took a huge risk on Watson sitting out for a year and then
insane.
suspended, and then you give him. I don't know. That was poorly done. But you'd expect nothing else from that franchise. I mean, it's a bad run franchise.
Dougie P's coming back. Do you think he takes a time alone and maybe after the game he walks and looks at the statue maybe from afar, maybe 20 yards away, just peers at it? You think he does something like that?
Do you think he's throwing 50 times a game coming into the Eagles Stadium?
Vanilla ice cream in hand.
18 fucking screenplays.
Oh man, I wonder if he'll get cheered, or if it'll just be like nobody gives a fuck
I think
anymore.
he will.
Yeah, I think so.
I'd like to think he will.
I liked Doug Peterson as a guy. He's
me too. I think he was. I think it was a good time to get rid of him. I think it was.
I do agree.
His time here was done, but I like it. I liked Doug as a coach. I liked him as a person. No hard feelings whatsoever.
I think he threw too much. That's my one hard take for Doug. I think he threw the ball way too much. At times we're like 50 to what? 18 runs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, Jordan Howard. Well, I don't know that he had a great running back. You know what I mean?
But he had a good. Well, no, I guess not, because that was the time period when our offensive line was kind of hurt a lot.
Yeah.
So we didn't have the elite unit that we've been used to the last 4 years for sure. But yeah, I'm with you. That was my biggest gripe with him. It was like, why are you throwing the freaking ball right now, dude? We get up and he throw the ball, and then we ended up losing the game. It's like, God damn it, you threw the ball when you should have been running, and we lost.
Yeah.
And he had Jordan. I think one thing that Philadelphia never did right was use Jordan Howard. The man never lost yards. He always got positive yards.
You bring up a valid point.
I like Jordan Howard.
Yeah, he was
Love
a
Jordan
beast.
Howard.
Yeah, it seemed like we never really
Just kept getting stingers.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But no, we didn't. Even when he was healthy, we didn't run him. It was.
No, I know.
I didn't understand why he wasn't the lead back, or at least in some situations where it was you only need 3 or 4 yards, and he's not the guy on the field, or we're down in the red zone on the goal line, and he's not the guy on the field. It's what are you doing? That's the guy. He doesn't lose yards. He did not lose yards for us.
Yeah, I don't know what Philly didn't see in Jordan Howard. I kind of feel disrespected.
Yeah. Maybe there was something we didn't know.
I know he had that neck thing where he would be a little bit of jittering or whatever,
Mm.
But Jordan Howard's a fucking animal.
He was.
Yeah, I was super pumped to get him from Chicago, and then it's just, he probably, I don't know, the neck thing probably held him back. Who knows? What do you? Here's a question. Me and my buddy Soup talk about this a lot. So like the post game dinners, we always kind of speculate, whether Andy Reid's back in town or so and so's back in town. You got to assume they're going out to a nice place. And let's see, Peterson's back. Who's at the table? You got to think Lori, Peterson. Is Howie at the table?
For sure.
Howie's
Yeah,
at the table.
yeah, I think Howie would be there.
Does Hurts show up, or is he golfing?
It's it's in his contract. He's not allowed. He would just be hanging out there on the links.
Yeah, I think it's probably Howie, Lori. You got Peterson, maybe
Big
Peterson.
Dom.
Yeah,
Big
Big
Dom's
Dom.
definitely representing.
Is there like any sort
Yeah,
of?
but where are they
legendary
eating?
player?
Where are they eating?
Ooh,
Philly?
yeah. What kind of? Yeah,
It's got to be something high scale.
yeah.
sure.
Big scale steakhouse. Maybe Italian, but I don't think Doug's the kind of guy that likes to eat Italian. Am I wrong there? He's a steak guy. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
speculating.
I could see him being a steak and potato.
Little steak potatoes and a glass of bourbon after the game.
Yeah, maybe a stogie in the
Yeah.
smoke room.
Oh, I don't see that one.
not the stogie. I do see him as a steak and potato man, though. I could see that.
I mean, who is not a steak and potato man? You know,
Right? Smoking Newport 100.
Who's
Oh,
who's
no.
who's the head coach of the Dolphins? That guy's not a steak and potato
Mike
guy.
McDaniel.
McDaniel? Oh,
that
no.
guy is not.
Acai bowl or like some spinach salad. He's the type of guy, dude. McDaniel's the type of guy that goes to a pizza joint and is likes arugula on his pizza. I'm putting that out there.
McDaniel is a seaweed salad.
Oh,
You ever had that? You ever had that?
I've seen it. I haven't tried it.
Oh, I've tried it. Sucks.
Oh, I can't. I couldn't.
Sucks.
McDaniel's the kind of guy too. Like I just keep going. He's like, these people. It's like they're maybe 35. They're like, I never had a carrot. It's like, what do you mean you never had a carrot? Like, what do you mean you haven't tried this this super accessible, popular food? He's like, I just don't like them. Yeah, McDaniel, we're coming after you, man.
Yeah.
McDaniel taking strays here.
Just taking massive strays.
You ain't never had
All
a
right.
carrot. Fuck you.
All right, yeah, like that. John, you said you had some stats that you wanted to throw out here. Let's get to those.
Yeah, let's see
I just
where we're
have
at here.
some offensive stats, and I have rankings, but maybe I'll just go on from there. But I have Eagles ran 21 total plays under center, which is the highest total percentage of the season, and most snaps under center in a single game since week 13 of the 2021 season.
Oh, interesting.
I'll pause you on that one. They ran it 19 and threw it twice.
Yeah. Well, goes to show that we're evolving, right?
Yeah, no, that's
Is that a good?
it's a
Is
step
that a
forward.
good stopping point?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
so-
step forward for sure.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. And Saquon even said it this week in an interview that it's probably easier to run when the guy's under center. So please keep running 19 out of 21 times under center if it makes it easier for Saquon. Whatever makes his life easier.
Absolutely.
And God, more Van Sumeren, man.
Oh, I'm with you. I love it.
More Van Sumeren, dude.
Eagles continue to lead the league in explosive plays with 11 over 40 plus yards. And then first time in 71 years, the Eagles have beaten two consecutive teams by 20 points on the road, man.
Love that stat.
Give
Yeah.
it up.
That's huge.
Everybody should give that
Huge.
team a round of applause for that right there, because that's
Yep.
good shit.
21-9 on the road under Sirianni, which is second.
Damn.
Second. 0.700. Only behind the Chiefs, which is 0.759.
Whew.
Let
Good
me pause
company
you
to
down.
be in.
Let me pause it. Like, it's the same thing with Sirianni. Like, as a fan base, are we just sick like with Hurts and Sirianni? Like, you read some of these numbers, it's like, who wouldn't want that? But then we have to go in and dissect everything and find reasons that it's not working.
Yeah, in this, thank you, because that was a point that I forgot to get to. This is another thing. So for everybody that was calling for, and I get them calling for Sirianni's job after the shenanigans in the Browns. I don't know calling for his job, but definitely, killing him for that
Getting
stuff
there.
after the
We were
Browns
getting
game.
there.
But ask yourself this, and this goes for Hurts as well. Who out there right now that is available, mind you, that's available, not currently employed, who out there that's available would you take over Nick Sirianni as your head coach or over Jalen Hurts as your starting QB1?
Yeah.
There's nobody. So if you fire these guys mid-season, you got nothing. Like the season's chalked. And then going into next season, you're not guaranteed you're going to get something better than what you just had. Because what you just had is really freaking good if you go back and
Yeah.
look at it. And we're, as a fan base, we're spoiled. We're drunk with success.
Mhm.
Maybe we need to start thinking about what 2020 was like. Remembering that shit. Remembering when
Yeah.
Chip Kelly was, the end of the Chip Kelly era.
Yeah.
If the Eagles go 2-2 in the next 4 road games, they'll clinch their 4th straight winning road record, which they've done once in franchise history with Andy. It was 2000 to 2004.
So we only got to win 2 more games to clinch that
Basically, yeah.
on the road.
Yep.
We're doing it.
The last 3 games the Eagles ran 120 times. The last 3 games that we won right here, these last 3 games, we ran 120 times to 60 passes.
Damn, a 2 to
You know,
1, a 2 to 1 run
exactly
ratio.
double. Exactly double. Third time since 1958 that they've run 60 more times than they've thrown over a 3-game span. Their 12 rushing attempts are the 6th most in a 3-game span since 1982. And 60 pass attempts are the 2nd fewest in a 3-game span since 82, obviously.
Is this
Same
a
stat.
team or league wide?
Team.
Oh, team. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
So that's cool. That's a cool stat there.
Yeah, dude, that's a cool
Yeah.
stat. I like that one.
Yeah.
What else you got? Keep
Um,
feeding me. Keep feeding me.
no, dude, I'm going. I'm going. All right. First 2 offensive drives, the Eagles rank 32nd. We already know that.
Mhm.
The rest of the game, we rank 2nd.
That's great.
Just behind the Detroit Lions.
Yep. 4th highest scoring team from the 2nd quarter on.
God, dude. Like that, like Smitty was saying in his mic'd up. He's like, man, if we can get this first quarter figured out, like,
Look out.
yeah, I mean, like, seriously, man, if we can just if we can go out there and play for 4 quarters, I don't know what team that can beat us. And I don't want to, let's be humble about it, but seriously.
That's just offense.
Yeah,
You want me to get on the defense?
throw it out there.
Oh, yeah, the defense has been killing it. Let's hear it.
Man. Eagles D has allowed 643 yards in the last 3-game win streak. 2nd fewest they've allowed in a 3-game win streak since 1992.
What'd you say? 630 some?
43. 643 yards in a 3-game win streak.
Dude, that's
we
kind of
won
insane.
Yeah. Defense has allowed 29 points in the last 3 games. Best 3-game streak since 2017 Super Bowl year.
Ooh,
And
like
matching
that.
their best since the first 3 games in 2016. And then
Alright.
I'm going to go back to the Bengals here quick. The Bengals have never punted, making this the first game the Eagles have won in 79 years when the opposing team didn't punt. The last game was the Steelers.
Like that.
Yeah, I really like. I didn't even notice that. I guess there was only 1 punt in that game total, and it was by us. We just shut them down. 4 and out, or out on downs, and then
Yeah, out
2
on
turnovers.
Yep.
That'll do it.
Nice.
We get some
Love it.
cool Saquon Barkley shit here.
Yeah.
Saquon.
2nd in rushing yards, 766, which he has passed McCoy in franchise history. Hate that, but I love Saquon too. Through 7 games, 766 through 7 games. I think McCoy had like 763 in 7 games. One of 5 running backs in NFL history with 766 yards, 5.9 average per carry, and 6 TDs through 7 games. It's Jim Brown, Jim Taylor, Jamal Lewis, and Derrick Henry this year. That's
Wow.
a crazy one. That's a crazy one.
Damn.
Derrick Henry is an animal right now this year.
Well, they're saying like the surge of or like the not the, like the play of this year of Barkley and Henry are kind of gonna restructure, their market on how teams are
I hope
looking at
so.
aging running backs and like
I
get them a
hope
little
so.
more money on the market.
I hope so, but it's nice that like you don't gotta pay him a lot. Like
Oh,
as an
for sure.
Eagles fan, like I love a good running back. Don't get me wrong, but like when it comes down to like, you know, the cap, you don't want to throw a lot of money out there.
Yeah, especially considering the shelf life that these guys have, the wear and tear that goes into that position. Not just at the pro level, but like, if they're a running back coming up through the ranks, like the wear and tear is terrible. But that is the only thing I like about, because most of the time you're going to get a running, but you're going to draft them or get somebody on a rookie deal, and
Sure.
then just ride him into to the ground, use him up, and then spit him out. That way you don't have to pay him. But when you're a good team like the Eagles are, those teams that are just like one piece away, at that point, like, yeah, man, like the Ravens going out and getting, King Henry. They're like one piece away, so it makes sense to throw money at them at that point, even if they're an old head.
King Henry is the man.
What up?
Dude, that guy is a freak. He's still
Yeah.
moving at like what, 22, 23 miles an hour out there. The guy's enormous. You imagine a man that size coming at you at 22 miles an hour.
I mean, he looks like I can run faster than him when I watch it on TV. It's like crazy.
Thank you. I thought I was the only one. I didn't think he was that fast, and they're saying that I think he recorded the fastest out of all the running backs this year, miles per
Yeah.
hour. And I'm like, wow, it doesn't even look like he's moving that fast. But yeah, that's one of those, like me personally, I'd be standing on the tracks relishing the hit that was coming. But I'm a different breed.
Might end your career.
Oh, dude, I want it. I need it. Give it.
Here's something cool too. Grant Calcaterra has 5 receptions of at least 19 yards.
That's
Fourth
nice.
most of all tight ends. 16.3 yards per catch in the last 3 weeks, second to Kittle, who has
Oh my God.
16.4. 16.4, so only
So it's
0.1.
a 0.1 yard away.
Yeah. 7.8 yards per catch is the 4th highest of 58 tight ends targeted at least 10 times.
Calcaterra's coming on.
7.7 yards before the catch is 8th highest.
What do we think? Bye, Goddard.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I tell you what, I think that's the reason they're going slow with Goddard's injury here, making sure that he's fully healthy. Just because the emergence of Calcaterra, they're like, okay, you can take off, a little bit longer than we were expecting. Just get healthy.
Especially, did you see what not Calcaterra, fucking Goddard, what he was doing Halloween?
Yeah, with his fucking girlfriend.
Yeah, lifting her up on the fucking
that's a bad look.
thong.
That's
a bad
fucking thong.
That was the first thing I thought. I was like, yeah, man, that hammy must be fucking sore as shit,
fine.
huh?
Must be fine. Yeah, must be fine.
Almost makes you wonder if he's looking to get back in, and they're like, yeah, like you said, Clayton, like,
go
he's
ahead, take the week off. You're all right.
Yeah, it's like, well, okay, let me start lifting human beings with my torn groin. All right, what up?
Yeah,
let's do predictions here. Because
Okay.
it's getting late. John, did you have anything else you wanted to throw out, or
Nope, that's where I'm at.
All right, let's do some predictions here and wrap up, guys. I don't think we're gonna do a beatdown on Doug P because I think there's some respect there. I think it's gonna be a pretty handled game. I'm gonna go 27-10.
I'm gonna pop in here and say Isaiah Rodgers is gonna be a monster. We got Quintanamo Bay. Beckham returned to practice. I don't know. Do we put him in? I don't know. So Jags. I like where you're at there, Alex. 27-10. I'm gonna go 34-7.
All right.
Nice.
I like it. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't like if you go and watch, Steen is actually
Monster.
in the limited sample size. I think he's outplaying Becton.
That's what I'm
That's just me.
saying. That was
That's just
another
me.
take.
That's
That
just
was
me.
another take that I had, but we didn't get there.
Okay,
It's a good-
so
good
I'm
piece
just
of
throwing
media.
that out there. We'll everybody marinate on that. We'll talk about that in the future. But no, for my prediction here, I'm saying 31 Eagles, 17 Jags. They get a touchdown in garbage time.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, guys.
Oh,
Well,
wait, hold on. Before we get out of here,
Yeah.
I got a retraction. I got to retract
what?
my Slay trade and hate that I threw out there last time. Watching and listening to some of the stuff the young guys are saying, like what he does for the youngins inside that locker room, it's immeasurable. I would prefer him just to be here the rest of the time, because I think these guys are really learning a lot from him, and I think he's helping them. And
hey, I think someone on the podcast said that. Who
yeah.
No, I'm joking. I'll keep. Let's trade him, dude. All right, well,
Let's trade him.
I gotta wrap it. Say Isaiah Rodgers goes out there and lights the world on fire.
Man,
I mean,
it
it's
makes
not
the
against good
conversation
competition.
tough, man.
But it's not a good test though, because again, like you
Well,
said, he's going against.
This is one of my takes. Is like, do you shelf fucking Slay to the fucking IR for 4 weeks because he's got a groin injury and a knee injury? Do you shelf him for 4 weeks to let him get healthy before the playoffs?
I get what you're. Yeah, maybe.
That was one of my takes.
Maybe I
Yeah.
it was weird. Like I listened to his podcast on Sunday, like right after the game. He's like, "Yeah, I might not be good." Like it's almost like he knew that he wasn't going. I'm like, "Where's this wait and see mentality?" Like, did you know you were that banged up that you couldn't go? Like he basically came out and said, if you read between the lines, he was like, "Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be going, or if I go," he kept saying like, "If I go," it's like, what's going on here? So I don't know.
It's interesting. I didn't hear that part of it, but they were interviewing Isaiah Rodgers in the locker room, and I think he kind of let it slip that he was starting. So
Yeah.
he knew like Tuesday and Wednesday that he was starting. So I think the decision maybe was already made then. Like
Was
Slay
that
knew at the end of the
scheduled rest
game.
day?
Decision made.
Was that like a scheduled rest day? Like, hey, we got this depth at cornerback. Why don't you take a week off and heal?
Yeah, I mean, well, he came out, he was hobbling off the field. And
Yeah.
a groin injury, like for a lineman, it's fine. Like you can play through that shit. I don't know that, you're out there, these guys that are running all the time, these these horses that are out there just running up and down the field all the time. It's a different injury to them.
Yeah.
I mean, if John, I actually kind of like where you're going with that. If it looks like his knee isn't 100% and his groin isn't 100%, rather than risk him going out there,
Yeah,
put him on
shelf him.
IR. Yeah,
Well,
put him on IR for.
That was a what's his name? The linebacker, the old Eagles linebacker.
Seth Joyner.
Stuart
Yeah,
Bradley.
it was a joiner.
Stuart
It was a
Bradley.
joiner. Jesus Christ, Stuart. It was not a Stuart Bradley. It was a Seth Joyner take, which I loved. You know what I mean?
That's a
Yeah.
good take.
Yeah.
I
Shelf him to IR. Let's get healthy. And
I could see the logic in that move, honestly.
yeah,
All right, let's shelf Slay and let's shelf this pod, guys.
let's
Send
go.
Send us an email if you want, speakingbirds@gmail.com. If you want to get
Somebody.
drunk and leave us some voice. Yeah, before I start doing it, guys, please don't make me do that. If you want to get drunk and leave us a voice message, that'd be fun, right? 215-469-1480. Leave us a message, we'll play it on the show, we'll react to your ramblings. Guys, any last words?
Go fucking birds. Let's fucking go.
Let's go, Birds. Dominance this weekend. Later on.